Let's go get one, fellas.
Yeah, let's get one. We got a good one for you. In fact, here this Week 8 edition of NFL Playbook. I know, already, right?
Wow, like a blur.
What's going on, everybody? Rhett Lewis alongside my XO Maestros, the Super Bowl champs, Coach Brian Billick and Shaun O'Hara. Guys, do you want to begin this thing like we always do?
Let's do it.
Game of the week. Let's do it. It's right here in L.A. In fact, the Rams hosting the Packers, and Aaron Rodgers and the Pack bracing for a brutal 5-game stretch that begins this week with L.A. and, of course, hoping to do so without the knee brace that has accompanied him since that injury, but says he'll ditch it only if completely healthy. 12 days rest coming off that bye should help, and, well, a little extra mobility might also be beneficial with Aaron Donald and the Rams defense bearing down on him this week. Donald, your NFC Defensive Player of the Week after a 4-sack outing against the 49ers in Week 7 and is now the NFL sack leader.
He's one of the more dominant players that the league has seen in a number of years. And then you pair that with a future Hall of Famer right next to him who can dominate the game as well and has since his first year playing. So it's well coached on both sides of the ball. Played against Wade a number of times. He's a fantastic coach, and obviously Shaun has done a great job with their offense. So we got to find a way to slow him down up front and complete some pass on the outside, run the ball, and keep it away from him a little bit.
So that's kind of interesting there. Aaron Rodgers calling Ndamukong Suh a future Hall of Famer. I mean, that's some high praise.
I would have had it the other way around.
Yeah, I think he juxtapositioned those two. I'd think about the other one, yeah.
Also interesting, though, that the Rams have moved Ndamukong Suh around a bunch this year, and he's actually been a more effective pass rusher off the edge. However, we know Aaron Donald gets his work done right up the middle, Coach, and that is so difficult for offenses to deal with.
They're the best combination from the inside, obviously, and there's a lot of pass rush that comes from the outside. But we know the vogue thing in this league is you want pressure up the middle. Now, I got an answer for you. Don't worry about it, Green Bay Packers. I know exactly what you need to do.
Okay.
It's real simple. Start double Aaron Donald on every snap.
Yeah,
in this
why wouldn't
instance,
you?
You're going to have the center. You're always looking for help, right,
For
Shaun?
sure.
Get that right guard to come over with you, and we're going to double to the right side. So now I'm going to inside, outside. What do you say? 4 hands on the down guy, 4 eyes on the next level. I'm cool. Oh, by the way, keep that tight end in to chip on the backside just in case Ndamukong Suh, he's on the inside here. He may go to the outside. And look at the time the quarterback has.
Well,
You've got to commit these kind of asses. He ends up with a little flip here. So that's a good answer for it. Now, you can't always double, guys, so I've got the next answer. Shaun, this is right down your alley.
Okay, what do you got?
The Shaun O'Hara move. You take your right tackle, you come down, and you just tackle the man.
Rear naked choke.
This is MMA all the way, because now you got to make the determination. Do I want my quarterback to get hit, or do I want a 10-yard penalty? And believe me, the quarterback's going to vote for the latter.
But wait, he's got the one arm up saying he's not doing anything.
All that does is bring a spotlight down to it. But seriously, you can stop anything you want in this league. We've talked about it all the time. But it's the amount of assets you have to put into it, and what does that cost you elsewhere? But if they don't do it just the way we talked about, Aaron Rodgers is going to have a tough day. Yeah,
Aaron Donald's a handful. And as an offensive lineman, you don't want to be one-on-one with that guy. When you break the huddle, you look and say, where is he? So for the Rams, you mentioned they're trying to defend Aaron Rodgers. Well, normally you say we want to keep him in the pocket, right? We don't want to let him get out and run around.
Pick your poison.
He's been a little bit gimpy, but he can beat you from the pocket too. And I want to take you back to Monday Night Football against the 49ers. And I just want to show you a throw that Aaron Rodgers made. And this is what can happen in the red zone, even from the pocket, Coach. And he's going to go to Devontae Adams right here on the left side. And what I want you to see is pre-snap. All right, he's going to read this safety right here. All right, and he's going to read where he's at, his lineup. All right, he's a couple yards from the hash, but he's inside the numbers. So he knows right now, I've got a shot to make this throw right here into this window. And Aaron Rodgers is going to read this corner. Now, they're both looking at each other. But what he's seeing right now is that this corner is peeking. All right, this corner is peeking into the backfield right now. Aaron Rodgers sees that. He's peeking and he's squatting, Coach. So he knows right now I can go over the top. I could make this throw, fit it in without the safety coming over and batting this ball away. Now, I went back and looked at the Rams because I'm saying, all right, how are they going to defend this in the red zone? And I found the same exact throw earlier on this year. Now, look at this throw right here and look at this technique right here. This is Marcus Peters. He's got the same exact technique right here. He's peeking in the backfield while he's trying to cover this wide receiver. And look at what it does right here. Right? It's hard, Rhett, right? It's hard to look in and cover this wide receiver right here. You can't, it's hard to do both. Well, Kirk Cousins sees that. Right? He also sees the safety right here and the location. He knows he can fit this throw in. And this throw is money right here against Marcus Peters, one of the best corners in the game right now. So I think Aaron Rodgers is looking at this saying, look, that's where I'm going to try to attack him. Obviously, Aqib Talib on IR makes it a little bit tougher on the other side for Sam Shields against his former team.
Okay, so for the Packers defense, though, they've obviously got to deal with Jared Goff and the Rams passing attack, but also the league's leading rusher in Todd Gurley.
Yeah, Todd Gurley is doing a great job, and the Rams O-line is doing a great job getting him up to the safety level. Well, when I turn on the film for the Green Bay Packers, their safeties are not doing a very good job with their insert. And I want you to focus right here on Kentrell Bryce. All right, he's the safety right here. He's going to have run support on this play. Now, Washington's going to run just a simple little single back power. And look, you've got him sealed up here, sealed up here. Look at this huge running lane right here, Rhett.
Yeah.
All right, this safety should be flying downfield right now, Coach. He should be attacking this gap. Instead, he's backpedaling.
The corners were looking in the backfield. Get your safeties looking in the backfield.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he doesn't want to part Adrian Peterson. I don't know. But this showed up. It wasn't just one play. And even when Washington went heavy formation right here, right, you've got a couple of tight ends. This is clearly a run formation. Everybody's got their gap, right? A gap, B gap, C gap. We got E gap.
Need a D gap.
Who's got D gap? Well, it's my man Bryce right here. It's the safety, all right? Now, I want you to watch this play because Alex Smith's going to hand the ball off right here to Adrian Peterson. And Adrian Peterson's got the football. He hasn't moved.
Not a step.
All right, everybody else is reading run. They're attacking. This is run all the way, and he has yet to move an inch. And then now he comes up, and there's too much space. He misses the tackle. If that's Todd Gurley, it's another big run play. When you look at the Rams, you mentioned it, Rhett, they're the best in the league right now running the football. They're the best in the league right now of getting these run plays up to the second level and up to the safety.
So then, Coach, with the league's leading rusher in Gurley, the league's #1 rush offense, any coincidence that the Rams utilize play action more and do it more effectively than anybody?
Yeah, do the math on this, right? Numbers and angles, we always talk. If you lead the league in rushing, you better lead the league in play action pass, and that's exactly what the Rams do. Now, let me show you what you're talking about here. Now, obviously, we talk about play action passes. We always talk about the route. Okay, we get good protection here. They're playing man. There's nothing underneath. We're going to clear out, and we're going to have a deep dig in here. That's real simple. There's a lot of play action routes that you can put together. I want to focus on the protection since we're talking about protection right now, and I want you to watch what this protection does with regards to how solid it is. Here, this is just elephants on the parade. Down, down.
They're attacking, Coach.
Offensive linemen love this. I don't have a man. I just got to protect the hip of the guy to my left or right, and I got the tight end coming back here. He's going to seal on the backside. I want you to look at the pocket here. Look how solid that pocket is on the backside. And you've gotten in the play action in terms of the affecting the linebackers and the safety. Now, let's look at it again. You're going to see from the Vikings standpoint, they do this very same thing. What are they going to do? They're going to go down, 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 down into here, pull this guy back into here. I want you to notice how long Kirk Cousins has to throw. Look at this. Now, it gets broken down here a little bit. You got all the angles. He's waiting. He flushes to the outside. There's no secondary in the league that can last this long and hold up with the passes down the field. So this is a big part of it. You're going to run at you. I'm going to give play action passes like nobody else in the league. So this is going to put a lot of pressure on that secondary that you were talking about with the Green Bay Packers.
And by the way, the Packers defense allows the highest passer rating in the NFL on play action passes. How about it?
Indianapolis Colts with 220 yards rushing, the most rushing yards in 10 years. Those big fellas right up front, Costanzo, Nelson, Kelly, Glowinski, and Braid Smith took it to the Buffalo Bills. Only 2 pressures on Andrew Luck. They sure did a great job with their double-team blocks. Now, how about looking forward to this week? We got a great matchup over in London. The Jacksonville Jaguars offensive line against the Philadelphia Eagles offensive line. Guess what? The Eagles, Derek Barnett, just went on IR, but they lead the league in quarterback hits. It's going to be a big test for Jeremy Parnell, the right tackle. And how about A.J. Kahn going against Fletcher Cox? Can't wait to watch that matchup, Rhett.
Okay, and for more information on the week's best offensive line, go to NFL.com/4. Trenches will also be a big part of the Ravens-Panthers matchup in Charlotte. And for a closer look, let's go inside the film room with Shaun and Coach.
Coach, the Ravens taking on the Panthers, and this is going to be a great defensive battle. And you might get a little nostalgic looking at this Ravens defense because they probably remind you of your 2000 Ravens. Statistically speaking, the best in the NFL. So how does this Baltimore Ravens defense slow down this Carolina Panthers offense, and particularly the quarterback?
Well, they've been playing great, but let's remember, they gave up 134 yards rushing to the New Orleans Saints.
Yeah.
And a lot of it came out of the option football. Not a lot of it, but a fair amount of it. And let's keep in mind now that Cam Newton, when years past, it's all been about the quarterback counter. Well, now it's about the option. Now, I want you to watch. Everybody in the league does this. Defensive end sees read option. He crashes down. He's to take the dive. Now you need the linebackers and the other to scrape over the top. Well, obviously Cam Newton comes out. He has the option of the pitch. He pulls it down and runs. Now this is more of a pure read option here. Again, watch the defensive end. He's going to crash to the dive. Cam Newton reads that. He's got the tight end pulling almost in a counter action to account for this as well. So this is almost like a counter action off of the option. Now let's remember last week, the Ravens, they saw this type of action. You got Terrell Suggs. What does he do? He crashes the dive part of it. Taysom Hill, who came in on occasion and third down in the red zone, comes out, and he runs true option. So obviously the Ravens have seen this. They're going to see a lot of it from Cam Newton. And stopping the running game of the Carolina Panthers is going to have to be job one if they can get this done.
Yeah, certainly a tough task. Cam Newton leads all quarterbacks in rushing yards per game. And for Cam Newton, look, he didn't fare so well the last time he played a number one ranked total defense. It was Super Bowl 50, so I'm sure he'd like to erase that memory. But when you look at the Baltimore Ravens defense, I think they are the best total defense. But when I see the Carolina Panthers linebackers, I see the best linebackers in the game right now. And, Coach, when you get the scouting report on these guys, the one thing that jumps out at you, these guys are downhill players. What does that mean? These linebackers are coming downhill. They've got the green light. Here's Kuechly and Davis right here, or like an old married couple. They know who's got the green light. The safety's coming down here to insert, which means Thomas Davis, he can shoot the backside A-gap, which he does right here for a tackle for a loss. Now, here's Davis in pass pro. He's got the tight end. And Kuechly's got the green light. He's got the running back man-to-man right here. This is a green dog blitzer. We've talked about it before on Playbook. Kuechly's going to shoot the gap right here and get a sack. Now, this is where Luke Kuechly's got the instincts, kind of like Rhett Lewis. And this is why he's the best linebacker of the game. You see him telling everybody, get your butt over here. Guys, watch out. We got a Wildcat right here. Mohamed Sanu's playing quarterback. And Luke Kuechly's going to shoot this gap. As soon as he sees the combo block and he sees space, he's in full attack mode downhill. This is what the Carolina Panthers do a great job of. And, Coach, when you get all these TFLs, Luke Kuechly's got 8 of them. Yeah. It sets up the rest of the defense for second and long. And it's going to be a great matchup and a great battle. And when you look at these two teams, look, this game is going to be big for both of them, but it's got a lot of implications further on down the line with this interconference matchup.
Yeah, the AFC North, obviously, these guys, Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, and Baltimore, all play one another over the next 3 weeks.
Right.
But Cincinnati's already lost to Carolina. Carolina is playing the Ravens this week, and Pittsburgh picks them up on week 10. So the Carolina Panthers are going to have a lot to do with how the AFC North shakes out over the next 3 weeks.
So what you're telling me is the Bengals and the Ravens fans are all going to be rooting for the Carolina Panthers, just not this weekend. It's going to be a great game, obviously a defensive matchup, and it's going to be a slobber knocker.
It is the rematch of the Minneapolis Miracle game, Saints visiting the Vikings in Minneapolis. And, Coach, let's talk about that Saints defense, particularly in the secondary where they've kind of shown some holes in coverage, particularly last week in that what would have been the game-tying drive.
Yeah, they've been playing good defense, and they're 5th in the league in terms of giving up the fewest big plays down the field. So it's not so a matter of how many, it's when. And their cover 2 has been a little vulnerable, whether it's Tampa 2 or 2. Let me show you what I'm talking about. This is the classic Tampa 2. You're going to see the safeties drop. It looks like too deep, but they're going to widen because the middle linebacker is going to drop, and it really becomes kind of a cover 3. Now, the league is very vogue right now in terms of throwing into that vacated zone underneath that drop linebacker. All right, that was last year in the divisional round. Let's look at the Ravens game. Again, this is red zone Tampa 2. Safety's supposed to get wide, middle linebacker down the middle. Look at the go route by Brown on the outside. The safety played like a regular 2. He didn't get wide enough. The corner thought he was getting help. Now, watch what they do against the Packers here, what the Vikings do against the Packers. It's not a pure cover 2, but the safety at the top is playing it like cover 2. He gets gobbled up with the inside post route, and you have Adam Thielen coming around the edge on an out and up. Now, in the old days, you'd have just blown this up and you couldn't have completed it. Yeah. You can't do that in today's football. Yeah. So the problem for them is it's not so much how many big plays, but in critical times, like it almost cost them in the Raven games, they're going to have to make sure that they clamp down and get that cover 2 or Tampa 2 fine-tuned to make sure that they don't make that kind of mistake.
And watching Adam Thielen there, he could tie Calvin Johnson for the most consecutive 100-yard receiving games. If he does it again this week, would be 8 straight.
I see it, Thielen.
And in the run game, by the way, Dalvin Cook has missed the last 3 games, but it's almost like Latavius Murray is making us forget.
Yeah, it gives them a great balance, and really the explosive plays that Latavius Murray is bringing to this Vikings offense has been phenomenal. The last 2 weeks, Rhett, 224 yards rushing. How's he doing it? Well, decisive cuts helps out. Jamal Adams, the safety, is going to come crashing down on the edge. And Latavius Murray, he's seen enough football. He knows to run away from that. But, Coach, look at this against the grain cut right here. It's decisive. He puts his foot in the ground, and he runs away from the safety. Now, Latavius Murray's a good running back. He hasn't always given them these big chunk plays. But here he does it again. And it's trips left right here. You've got 8 guys in the box, so there's bodies everywhere. But, Coach, against 8 guys in the box, a big run if you can get him up to the safety.
Right.
And
you get past those 8, you only got 3 in behind.
Watch him finish this run here with a stiff arm. I mean, this looks like vintage Adrian Peterson right here. It's not. It's Latavius Murray.
5 and 8.
You give Kirk Cousins an explosive run game, you got a dangerous offense. Now, I'm curious to see how this matchup works out because the Saints' defense against the run is phenomenal. Best in the league right now. They're only giving up 72 yards. And it's because of the speed at their linebackers. Look at Demario Davis run down this running back. I mean, he beats the running back to the spot right there. So it's a great matchup right here. Can the Vikings find a way to get those big explosive runs against this tough Saints run defense?
It took them a while to get their run game going, but since week 6, Latavius Murray now the second leading rusher in the NFL, so they got it kind of rolling here a little bit. Now, there's also a guy in this game that has reached the 500 passing touchdown milestone. He's thrown for more passing yards than anybody in NFL history. Do you got anything?
Yeah, let's talk about Drew Brees.
Okay.
You know, I think he's an MVP candidate. And the way he's playing right now, we saw it last week. It showed up on 3rd down, which is the money down. If you're a quarterback, you've got to make a play. 3rd and 8, there's the sticks. Baltimore's going to bring 3 up the middle. And this safety is unblocked right here. And Drew Brees does a great job buying time with his legs and finding a way to get a window right here to get this ball to Michael Thomas. I don't know how he gets this ball out and how he completes the pass. But when you look at what Drew Brees did against the blitz of Baltimore last week, I think he's going to have to make the same kind of throws and the same kind of plays against the Minnesota Vikings defense coach who has a Harrison Smith who loves to blitz as well as disguise the coverage.
Pretty good for a guy my age.
Not that bad.
He's
yeah.
All right, back here with you on Playbook. Time now for our True View video of the week. And we go back to Sunday night. Check out Patrick Mahomes. Already has 2 touchdowns. But watch him. You see, True View lets you see exactly what he was seeing. And that was the void in the Bengals coverage where Demetrius Harris ended up being right where he needed to be. 3rd touchdown of the game right there. And the Chiefs rolling on to victory. Now they got to take on the Broncos here, Sean. And Patrick Mahomes may have thrown his 22nd touchdown pass on Sunday night. But Kareem Hunt caught 2 of them on Sunday. So is he kind of the number 1 priority in trying to stop the Chiefs now?
Yeah, if you're the Denver Broncos, you got to do 2 things. You got to tackle Kareem Hunt, and Case Keenum's got to make some big throws. Let me show you Kareem Hunt and what you're talking about. Now, these should have been tackles for loss, and Kareem Hunt did a great job of breaking tackles. He had 93 yards after contact in this game. And, Coach, I mean, you draw it up right here. You got an unblocked defender, a defensive end. I mean, finish the play right there, but they can't do it. Kareem Hunt, give him credit. He's slippery. And it showed up time and time again. Here's another one where you've got an unblocked defender, a defensive end crashing down, and Kareem Hunt's just going to slip right out of this play. So the Denver Broncos, who in the last 3 weeks have given up a ton of rushing yards, they've got to find a way to tackle him. Now, Case Keenum, they brought him to Denver. John always say he's my guy because of what he did in the red zone last year. Was one of the best. But on this play, you've got Demaryius Thomas on a speed out, Coach. I mean, pull the cord, right? You don't want the touchdown? How about take the 1st down? You got the tight end standing at the sticks. Case Keenum is a little gunshot. Maybe it's because he's thrown 3 interceptions in the red zone, more than any other quarterback. I don't know. All right, so now we got the fade route. We're going to go to tight end. Gets a good split, right? All right, this looks like a tight end in Indiana right here on a little fade route. All right, throw the ball, Coach. Look where this ball lands. I mean, he hits a photographer out of bounds. Give your guy a shot. Case Keenum's got to do a better job in the red zone.
Coach, let's talk Thursday Night Football. Dolphins, Texans, and boy, the Dolphins have been gashed in the run game on defense.
I sound like Allen Iverson, Detroit, man. This was Detroit. 248 yards rushing. And look at the kind of run. They're going to see this again. This is a very simple. We see this all around the league. You're going to see what amounts to a G-pull. Tight end turns out. He just follows the offside guard. That's what the G-pull stands for. And he goes for, 71 yards down the field. Again, Detroit. This is the Detroit Lions. Now, they're going to see the same thing against the Texans because here's the exact same play. It's going to be down, down, down. You're going to see the running back run from this counter position. All right, now instead of blocking out, the tight end blocks down. The G pulls around, recognizes the down block of the tight end, and he goes all the way to the outside. Again, you got a big gash. Obviously, job 1 is stop the run.